Ag PhD full episodes and more are now available on Acres TV, the newest ag platform connecting you to fields of information. Look for us on watchacrestv.com.
During our Farm Basics time today, we're going to talk about fall lawn care.
Now, the greatest thing about a lawn in terms of weed control is you've got a crop out there all the time. So if we can just get that crop thick, we can choke out a lot of the weeds. So anytime we see weeds is a good time to get rid of them, and fall is one of those times.
Yeah, I just say this, a lot of people wait until fall to control their weeds, and we're going to say it all throughout the show. Don't wait, just spray the weeds as soon as you see the weeds. So if you've got weeds right now in your lawn, go get them under control. We love 2,4-D in the lawn. Freelex is the product we recommend because Freelex doesn't have volatility like old 2,4-D did.
Well, that'll knock out the broadleaf weeds, but with the grass weeds, you've got several different choices there too. But before we get to all that, Brian, I would say this. Let's start with the soil test. Get the soil healthy.
True.
Because if we're having trouble competing against weeds, it could very likely be all we need to do is feed the lawn better so we can choke the weeds out.
Yep, but in a lot of cases, it's the same thing in a lawn as it is on the farm where we say, well, we're to the end of the season. I don't want to spend any more money. I don't want any more work. I just want to be done. No, if you want the best lawn next year, it really starts this year. So take a look at pH. Do you need more phosphorus or potassium? Nitrogen and sulfur, they're leachables, and you almost always need nitrogen and sulfur. And one last thing I'll throw out, if you bag your grass, you're taking lots of nutrients away all the time. You need to put more fertilizer out as opposed to if you mulch the grass and left all those nutrients there in the lawn.
All right, the other thing now, getting back to the weed control aspect is, if we're talking about grass weed control in a grass lawn, we have to look at what kind of grass are we talking about here. Is it an annual grass or is it a perennial grass? If it's an annual grass like foxtails, for example, or crabgrass, if you don't let it go to seed, it's going to die off with the winter in the northern part of the country, at least where we're at. If it's a perennial weed though, you got to deal with it no matter when it is.
Unfortunately, if you have perennial grasses, like let's say it's quackgrass, you may have to kill the whole lawn and then go back and reseed. The problem today is Roundup isn't labeled in lawns anymore, so now what are you going to use? Might be clethodim or something else, and that might not give you complete control, so it's a real challenge when Roundup's not labeled in lawns. That's all I know.
Yeah, for me, I'm focusing on let's get a soil test pulled, let's work on the fertility, and if we've got some tough broadleaves like a dandelion, for example, you can knock that out with something like Freelex.
Boy, I wish it was that easy when it comes to controlling our weed of the week. Can you identify this week's weed?